on almost everything, including specials and beauty, at Lord & Taylor.
Good morning, America. Happening now. Holiday weekend travel alert. The dangerous conditions on the roads and potential air delays. Major cities in the storm's path with an icy threat on the East Coast. How the storms could affect the journey home for millions of Americans.
Shopping frenzy, the mad dash to snap up deals. Rushing the counters at this Victoria's Secret store. Customers here fighting in the aisles. How to have a more sane small business Saturday.
Climate change concerns, the urgent report warning of a severe threat to America's health and economy. What scientists say needs to be done to avoid a global catastrophe.
House explosion. The moment caught on camera, a home blown to bits with a man inside.
It's completely leveled. We're looking for victims.
Homes and businesses damaged. The investigation this morning.
And royal move. Meghan and Harry setting off to the suburbs, awaiting the birth of their baby, saying goodbye to neighbors Will and Kate, where they're taking up residence.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Hope you're having a great holiday weekend so far. We do begin, though, with two different storms bringing hazardous conditions at the most inconvenient possible time, right as millions of Americans head home for Thanksgiving.
Heavy snow already causing dangerous travel in the west, and now a new developing storm will bring near blizzard conditions from the plains to the Midwest. As the storm targets Chicago, a major travel hub, we're expecting major airline and road delays.
And meanwhile, a separate storm bringing possible flooding to the Northeast. So the bad news is the weather is messy. The good news is we brought in a ringer to help us sort through it all. Sam Champion in for Rob on this holiday weekend. Hey, Sam, good morning.
Hey, Ken, good morning. Yes, we have some real travel trouble, but let me start with the good news for a minute, because when you see these numbers, these are the temperatures. This is the difference from yesterday. 17 degrees warmer in New York, 25 degrees warmer in Syracuse. These are the high temperatures. This is the good news. 40s, 50s. So much better than where we were. Now, here's the trouble. We've got already some ice that's going on right in the Appalachians right now. All of this is moving into the Northeast. We'll have some flooding rains to deal with there. Then we've got another big snowmaker you guys were showing pictures of. This one will move across the middle of the country and get stronger. There'll be some big snowfall totals. The biggest airport impacted by this is Chicago. So we have to talk about that when we come back in regular weather, how much snow you get and when it all starts. But this is a real problem. It's going to be blinding snow almost all day. Guys?
All right, thanks, Sam. And you know something you can do inside and avoid the weather? Shopping. The holiday shopping season's in full swing this morning, and in some places, the hunt for a bargain turning into a blood sport.
Yeah, this was a whole new level here. Crowds racing to snatch up the best deals with frustration and tempers boiling over. ABC's Lindsay Davis is at the Best Buy in Mount Vernon, New York with the shopping frenzy. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. Look at this. The world is our oyster. Welcome to drama-free shopping when you get inside the store just a little bit in advance of the shoppers. But Eva, you said it exactly right. The holiday shopping season now in full swing, literally, because some shoppers are actually coming to blows over some of these blowout sales. Black Friday, not only synonymous with major markdowns, but also major meltdowns.
Overnight, customers reveling in the Super Bowl of shopping. An estimated 116 million people dashing out for deals across the country.
So we did Thanksgiving yesterday, and we saw some good ads, and we're like, you know what, we've never done Black Friday before.
Shoppers in this Tennessee Victoria's Secret store got so aggressive to get the deals, they actually bum rushed the counters. You can see that store clerk there has to jump onto a table in order to get out of the way of the mayhem. Customers tearing clothes off shelves, literally fighting for the deals in the aisle. These two women in a Georgia Walmart brawling over pots and pans. The shopping madness at times ending in senseless violence. In New Jersey, police are searching for a gunman after a man was shot in the arm after a fight broke out, sending shoppers running for their lives.
A lot of children crying and people just banging on the walls and banging on the doors, trying to, begging to come inside the store.
Shoppers in this Alabama mall ducking deadly gunfire, which left one dead and a 12-year-old girl injured. Police say the suspected shooter is still on the run. And two men stabbed Friday evening at Macy's in Syracuse, New York. But it wasn't mall melee everywhere. Plenty of shoppers waited patiently to score the holiday kickoff deals.
I came with him at 4 o'clock in the morning thinking people will be shoving each other through the door. That didn't happen.
And many choosing not to wait it out at all, opting for the digital deal route with Cyber Monday just 2 days away.
With 31 days left until Christmas, the countdown is now on. The average shopper is expected to spend more than $1,000 this holiday season. That's actually up 4% from last year. So guys, listen to this. Make your list, check it twice, send it over to me. I've got your electronics covered, drama-free.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
that. You have the store to yourself. Lindsay, thank you very much. Lindsay Davis reporting in from Mount Vernon this morning. It is just the start of the holiday shopping season, and there are plenty more deals to be had. ABC's consumer correspondent Becky Worley joins us now. Becky, you've covered Black Friday for us for 15 years. You said this is your Super Bowl. How does this year compare to years past?
Well, we are seeing a lot of spending, record spending. Consumer confidence is high, but what's really evolving is where that spending is happening.
Well, and I imagine a lot of it's happening online because just me peeking around yesterday, it seemed like the deals weren't that different.
It's exactly right, Eva. The deals were very similar online and in store, and so we're seeing a significant uptick in online spending. Adobe saying that $7.8 billion was spent on Thanksgiving and Black Friday online, and we really know that there are deals that are online that are limited quantity. They're like the doorbusters that we see in store. Those sold out in store fast, but I think they sold out online faster this year, and one of the reasons, mobile shopping accounted for 1/3 of all online shopping. It's a way of life for a lot of millennials now to just shop on the phone.
You get bored with your family, start shopping on your phone.
Exactly. And today, though, we're seeing something a little bit different, a bit more my speed, you might say. Saturday is Small Business Saturday, so it's a little bit more low-key. What are we seeing from the local retailers?
Well, this weekend is all about experiential shopping. Go out, try on clothes, look for gifts that are, that discovery. And so people are in malls and in downtown areas, and we just exhort people, please shop local. It's good for you. It's good for your community. They don't need it. They depend on these dollars at this time of year. My favorite store, I'm going to give them a plug, a great good place for books in Oakland, California. Think about your favorite local shop and try and get there today.
That's another way to avoid your family if you're getting bored.
You have to go out and support local.
The store.
That's right.
Becky, thank you. Good luck with the rest of the Super Bowl.
I'll be back with deals later in the show.
Oh, yeah. We're checking back in with you later in the show, the next half hour. We're doing rapid fire deals.
Boom, boom, boom. Keeping it up.
Moving on now to the latest in the Russia investigation, though.
Yes, and the developments this morning, an associate of political operative Roger Stone telling ABC News that he's negotiating a plea deal with the special counsel. ABC's David Wright is here with the very latest. David, good morning.
Good morning, Whit and Eva. Jerome Corsi, Ph.D., has been a person of interest in the Mueller probe for the past several months as investigators try and connect the dots to President Trump's close friend, Roger Stone. Corsi has confirmed to ABC News he is negotiating a plea deal. What's not clear is what he has to offer the special counsel in exchange for a lighter sentence.
I've been gone for a while with the Mueller, our special counsel, as you all know.
Followers of Dr. Jerome Corsi's webcast are well aware the conservative author and podcaster has been worried for weeks about a possible indictment from the special counsel.
And I'm still in the no comment phase with regards to the Mueller investigation.
Corsi is one of a dozen associates of political operative Roger Stone to be interviewed by Mueller's team about what, if any, contacts Stone may have had with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. WikiLeaks was the conduit Russian hackers used to release thousands of stolen Democratic emails.
It provides the opportunity to see a line from Russia, who stole the emails, to WikiLeaks, who distributed the emails, WikiLeaks to Corsi and Stone to the president.
It seems like it's fake news feeding frenzy Friday.
Stone has emphatically denied speaking or meeting with Assange during the 2016 campaign and told a WBEN radio show he has nothing to fear from Corsi.
This idea that Jerry Corsi could implicate me, there's simply no evidence whatsoever that would show that I knew about the source or the content of any allegedly stolen emails or any allegedly hacked emails that were published by WikiLeaks. Just not so.
Well, on his way to Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving, President Trump was asked about the WikiLeaks founder. He claimed not to know much about him, which is kind of odd because toward the end of the campaign, he mentioned WikiLeaks several times at just about every stop.
Yes, it was at that point helpful to that campaign. So on a less helpful note for the president, there's also news that there's a legal setback in a lawsuit against Trump, the Trump Foundation?
That's right. The New York State Supreme Court has dismissed, has denied a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against the Trump Foundation. The New York State Attorney General claims that the foundation was little more than a piggy bank for Trump, for his business and political interests. The Trump folks argued that it was politically motivated and that the court had no jurisdiction. The court respectfully disagreed, so now that case is going to go forward.
Whether politically motivated or not, the Trump White House is facing legal challenges on many fronts.
Many fronts.
David Wright, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. On this holiday weekend, the president is talking about another subject. He's keeping the spotlight on one of his central issues, immigration. He's now threatening to shut down the entire southern border with Mexico.
The trigger for that threat, the situation in Tijuana, where the mayor is now declaring a humanitarian crisis with 5,000 migrants from the so-called caravan now gathering there, trying to get into the U.S. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is in West Palm Beach, where President Trump is spending the holiday weekend. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Eva. After a month-long journey, the caravan of migrants is finally at the U.S. border. Along the way, locals have offered them food and shelter. But now that they're in this border town of Tijuana, they say they can't handle the crowds and they're at capacity. Overnight, a crisis at the border. The mayor of Tijuana requesting aid from the United Nations as nearly 5,000 Central American migrants wait to apply for asylum in the U.S. Fleeing violence and poverty, a group of migrants from Honduras waving flags and demanding to be let into the United States. The town's food and shelter pushed to the limits as migrant mothers and their children huddle under blankets just feet away from the edge of the U.S. border. All this as President Trump threatens to shut down the border.
We will close entry into the country for a period of time until we can get it under control.
For the entire border?
The whole border. I mean, the whole border.
The president not stopping there, raising the possibility of allowing U.S. troops to use lethal force.
If they have to, they're going to use lethal force. I've given the okay. Yeah, if they have to. I hope they don't have to. But, you know, you're dealing with a minimum of 500 serious criminals. So I'm not going to let the military be taken advantage of. I have no choice. Do I want that to happen? Absolutely not.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen said that there are 500 serious criminals and gang members in this caravan. But when asked what crimes they committed and how they identify them, she gave no evidence. Dan?
All right, Tara Palmieri reporting in from Florida. Tara, thank you. A lot to talk about this morning. So let's bring in our chief political analyst, Matthew Dowd. Matthew, good morning. The president, as we just saw, threatening to shut down the entire southern border over these migrants in Tijuana. To you, does that sound reasonable or even feasible?
Well, much with President Trump is not always reasonable or feasible, but I think this is what the president has been talking about for the last month and a half. He's recently threatened to shut down the government if he doesn't get his border wall. I think almost this is exclusively a humanitarian problem, not a security problem. And if the president really wanted to do something about security and protect Americans from violence, there was much more violence happened, as the start of the show said, at malls in America on Black Friday than it has at the border. So I think this is just another political message he's trying to send to this base of voters that are concerned about immigration.
Let me loop back for a moment to Jerome Corsi, who we heard about in the story that David Wright brought us just a few moments ago. Corsi is an associate of President Trump, also an associate of Roger Stone. Corsi is now reportedly in plea negotiations with the special counsel Robert Mueller. How much of it, we don't know the details of these negotiations, but based on what we know, how much of a threat does Corsi pose to the president, if any?
Well, I think the entirety of the Mueller investigation is a threat to the president and a threat to the president's family and a threat to many people around the president. If I were the president, I'd be very worried as Bob Mueller wraps this up and is going to present a report to the Justice Department, and then I think Congress will get it. This is a big threat to him. This is a big threat to the ongoing ability of his administration to function. If I were Roger Stone, I'd be very concerned because Roger Stone hasn't been called before any grand jury, and he seems to be a target of this. So it'd be a big concern.
Matthew Dowd reporting in from Texas on a Saturday morning. We really appreciate it. Yes.
Dan, you didn't ask me the best, most important question. Michigan, Ohio State. That's today. Michigan, Ohio State.
Well, consider it asked. What's your answer?
Let me give you a clue. Hail to the victors valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Go Michigan.
Okay. I wouldn't have gotten a clue until you said Michigan.
And all the people from The Ohio State University just booed.
Yeah.
And Dan will be glued to his TV all day today watching football.
Making friends all over the Buckeye State. Matthew Dowd, really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a great Saturday.
We do want to turn now, though, to a brand new report on climate change released by the Trump administration on a busy Black Friday. The 1,600-page report painting a dire picture if nothing is done. The potential grim consequences released in the federal report coming at a critical time as the deadliest wildfires in California state history still smolder. Government scientists saying climate-related threats to America's physical, social, and economic well-being are rising. The president, who has previously called climate change a hoax, tweeting just this week about the East Coast cold snap. Whatever happened to global warming? The assessment from 13 federal agencies asking the administration to take urgent action against dire threats and curb climate change to avoid substantial damages to the U.S. economy, environment, and human health. Among the report's predictions and worst-case scenarios, America's GDP dropping by 10% by the end of the century, hundreds of billions of dollars lost. For the Southeast, stronger hurricanes and more frequent flooding. The Midwest, agricultural catastrophe, extreme heat destroying crops. And in the West, increased fire danger. The president recently touring a California fire zone.
Does seeing this devastation, though, change your opinion at all on climate change, Mr. President?
No.
Now, the White House is pushing back, saying the report is largely based on the most extreme scenario. We do want to bring in our Sam Champion here, though, Sam, because obviously you've been following these weather and climate trends. This report is fascinating in the detail and the long-term economic projections like we haven't seen before. But how does this line up with some of those weather trends?
It's a good question, and the answer is really clear. For the last 10 years, climate scientists have been right on and pretty steady on exactly what they expect and what we can expect. One of them is stronger hurricanes, and just look at the last couple of hurricanes to make landfall in the U.S. Florence, the most rainfall ever from a tropical system in North Carolina and South Carolina. Then we were talking about Michael. This is the storm that hit the Florida Peninsula, Florida Panhandle there in the Gulf.
Which strengthened so quickly.
And that's the point. Rapid intensification of a hurricane from a 1 to a high 4, almost 5 in about 36 hours. So stuff that we haven't seen before, that's all true. Then we talk about the wildfires, the extreme heat, drier ground, bigger fires. Look at the Camp Fire. That was 153,000 acres, and I don't want to even forget the deaths that came from that, because that's critically important. That was a record fire for California. Remember, they had their record fire, biggest fire ever last year. We're not supposed to do this every year.
Yeah. And here we are. And so it's like the science and then the government agencies kind of lining up with this report.
Every report that comes out completely fulfills what the prior reports have done. So it's just a stack in the wall of exactly what we can expect, and there's no change. So let's get to the boards. We'll show you exactly what's going on right now. We've got some snow coming out of the mountains. Look at this in California. A lot of this California-Washington snow, some of this is breaking out now and moving across the plains. We closed the passes with some big snow, so we're definitely in the season for higher elevation snow from California into Washington State. Now let's look at what we expect. The transfer of energy and that snow out of the Northwest into the plains is real trouble for people who are going to be traveling. So let's walk you through this. There's that low that puts it together. It's a narrow but very focused band of snow, and it runs all the way through Chicago. Chicago is one of the busiest airports this travel day, this travel weekend. So we're going to get some big time snow here, 45-mile-per-hour winds. This is whiteout conditions. It's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so it's an all-day situation. It will really bring travel to a slowdown in that area, or any plane that has to go through that area. Even if your plane is someplace else, it might be connecting to get to you through Chicago. And then we've got this next system that moves straight on into the Northeast. That's going to deliver a mostly mix of rain because we're warmer now. That's the weather around the nation. Here's what you can expect this morning.
And good Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Ryan Miller in the Storm Watch 7 Weather Center. Clouds this morning and rain and precipitation moving into the region. We will see a chance of some wintry precipitation, especially from I-95 and west of Washington. The area is shaded in purple. Winter weather advisories up through midday. I think we'll see some heavy rain here this evening, and eventually we'll start